Hola clase! Today we will be learning the future tense. As the name implies, the future tense is used to talk about future actions. It is the equivalent to adding will in English. Ejemplo, yo protegeré el medio ambiente. I will protect the environment. The simple future tense is formed by attaching the future tense endings right onto the verb's infinitive. This is unlike the other conjugations that we've learned so far, which remove the infinitive ending first. It is also much easier because all three categories of verbs, AR, ER, and IR, use the same set of endings. As, a, hemos, es, an. Note that all of these future tense endings are end stress and carry accent marks. This stress pattern is also unlike any other verb tense. There are a good number of verbs that modify their stem instead of using the full infinitive, but all verbs in the future tense use the same set of endings, which makes it really easy to learn. Let's look at some examples. AR ending verb, reciclar. Keep the infinitive form and add the future tense endings that correspond to the subject. Yo reciclaré, tú reciclarás, usted, él, ella reciclará, nosotros, nosotras reciclaremos, vosotros, vosotras reciclaréis, and ustedes, ellos, ellas reciclarán. Now an ER ending verb, proteger. Keep the infinitive form and add the future tense ending that corresponds to the subject. Yo protegeré, tú protegerás, usted, él, ella protegerá, nosotros, nosotras protegeremos, vosotros, vosotras protegeréis, and ustedes, ellos, ellas protegerán. And last one, an IR ending verb, cubrir. Keep the infinitive form and add the future tense ending that corresponds to the subject. Yo cubriré, tú cubrirás, usted, él, ella cubrirá, nosotros, nosotras cubriremos, vosotros, vosotras cubriréis, and ustedes, ellos, ellas cubrirán. As mentioned before, the future tense does have some irregular verbs that modify their stem before the endings are added. Let's learn some of these. In the first group, the last vowel turns into a de. Ejemplos: poner, tener, and salir. The last vowel, e and e, in the infinitive forms turn into a de, then add the future tense ending that corresponds to the subject. Yo pondré, tendré, saldré. Tú pondrás, tendrás, saldrás. Usted, él, ella pondrá, tendrá, saldrá. Nosotros, nosotras pondremos, tendremos, saldremos. Vosotros, vosotras pondréis, tendréis, saldréis. And ustedes, ellos, ellas pondrán, tendrán, saldrán. In the second group, the last e in the infinitive form just disappears. This only affects some ER ending verbs. For example, the verbs haber, caber, querer. Take off the last e, then add the future tense endings that correspond to the subject. Yo habré, cabré, querré. Tú habrás, cabrás, querrás. Usted, él, ella habrá, cabrá, querrá. Nosotros, nosotras habremos, cabremos, querremos. Vosotros, vosotras habréis, cabréis, querréis. And ustedes, ellos, ellas habrán, cabrán, querrán. In the final group of irregulars, the ending will be dropped and the se will change to an ere. For example, hacer, drop the ending ER and the C changes to an ere, and then add the future tense ending that corresponds to the subject. Yo haré, tú harás, usted, él, ella hará, nosotros, nosotras haremos, vosotros, vosotras haréis, and ustedes, ellos, ellas harán. Finally, decir, drop the ending IR, the C changes to an ere, and also the E changes to an I. Yo diré, tú dirás, usted, él, ella dirá, nosotros, nosotras diremos, vosotros, vosotras diréis, and ustedes, ellos, ellas dirán. The simple future tense is translated to English with the auxiliary or helping verb will, whereas in Spanish it's just a one-word conjugation. And you should also remember that we learned another way of talking about future events with the structure ir plus a plus infinitive to express what is going to happen. This is called the periphrastic future. In most circumstances, the simple future and the periphrastic future are interchangeable. But the periphrastic future suggests a closer connection between the present and the events in the future, whereas the simple future tense just places the action in the future. Here are some examples that will help us compare these two ways of talking about the future. Vamos a colaborar con la reducción de la contaminación si reciclamos. We are going to collaborate on reducing pollution if we recycle. Colaboraremos con la reducción de la contaminación si reciclamos. We will collaborate on reducing pollution if we recycle. El planeta va a calentarse rápidamente. The planet is going to warm up quickly. El planeta se calentará rápidamente. The planet will warm up quickly. Nada va a resolver el problema de nuestro planeta si seguimos insistiendo en guerras. Nothing is going to resolve the problem of our planet if we continue insisting on wars. Nada resolverá el problema de nuestro planeta si seguimos insistiendo en guerras. Nothing will resolve the problem of our planet if we continue insisting on wars. Las futuras generaciones no van a tener mucha agua limpia. Future generations are not going to have much clean water. Las futuras generaciones no tendrán mucha agua limpia. Future generations will not have much clean water. There is also a very common colloquial use of the simple future tense to express that something is probable or to speculate about what is likely to be true, not in the future, but in the present. In English, we often use words such as could or might to convey the same sense of conjecture or speculation. Ejemplos. Suena el timbre de la puerta a medianoche. ¿Quién será a estas horas? The doorbell rings at midnight. Who could it be at this hour? ¿Sabes la cantidad de basura que produces cada año? Bueno, el norteamericano promedio produce 1,600 libras de basura al año. Mi familia producirá algo menos porque tenemos bolsas y botellas reusables, no de plástico. Do you know how much garbage you produce each year? Well, the average North American produces 1,600 pounds of garbage each year. My family probably produces something less because we have reusable bags and bottles, not plastic. Ahora tendré que ir a estudiar el tiempo futuro. Hasta luego, clase.